Hi, this is Christina from thegodlyindianmom.com. Today's book review is on Ashoka, The Search for India's Lost Emperor by Charles Allen. So, this book I would recommend for young adults and adults. This, I think, is a little bit of a dry book. It's not like this very fast moving book because it goes into way too many details, but I think it's still a very interesting read to understand and how Ashoka was actually discovered, like because the records have his names recorded in different manners. So for people to decipher, cipher that out and figure out it's the same emperor that they are talking about in the records. And then about the stoop, the Ashoka pillars and how those pillars and the stupas, how they went from place to place, and then how people, how the archaeologists found out that this belongs to a particular time period, and how sometimes preconceived notions led into different other tracks, and then they had to come back and retrace and go back in the right way to find out about Ashoka. I think it was a very interesting read, like seeing how he was discovered, like he was totally forgotten. Today we have so many serials and shows and movies about him, but it was interesting to realize that he was not even known, if not for British India. So that was a very interesting thing, and it was nice to see how tenacious those archaeologists were. They found, they got help from whoever was available to decode the Sanskrit and to understand Jainism and Buddhism and to go deep into it and find out things. And so it was very interesting to see how they persevered, and even though one person finished a part of the work, the other person continued from there, trying to figure out what that person understood out of it and how to go about in further research. So I think it was a very interesting, very interesting book, and I think it's such an interesting book because it's interesting in the way, like to discover about Ashoka, like how he was, like he was such a very warlike character, and then he there's this middle phase in his life where he embraces peace and things, and then it's also interesting to see how there is a shift towards the end. The same faith that he embraced, he actually let go during the later stages of his life. So in a way, it's like conversion is like very part of Indian culture, like different gods and different, because that's why we have so many different types of gods and different ways and traditions. So people convert from one ideology to another, and people embrace certain ideas and later on they let go of them and go to another one. Or it's a very interesting, I think it's an interesting thought process. Even at that point, the thing that he used to follow, then he followed, then he left that and followed something else. So that was very interesting, and it was also interesting to see how the politics was playing out during the end of his life. So I think it's a very fascinating book for anybody who is interested to understand how long it takes for archaeology to discover and to go through records, even go to a different country like Sri Lanka and find out more records there and figure out, is this the same king that they're talking about there, and making that correlations. I think it's though it's a dry book, I think it's a nice book to understand certain things, and even the politics that is there sometimes. Again, there is a writer biases, and then there is biases of the archaeologist itself. So there are certain different aspects. So, and I think still it's an interesting read. So this is it from me. Until next time, see you. Bye.